from on top of the hill where we have the stockpile of stones that we use to crush. This area is where we have all the stones that have been taken to the crushing plant to be crushed. But on top of this hill we have a lot of massive boulders. And what is happening here this morning, there is no crushing activity taking place at the stone crushing plant this morning, Saturday, the 2nd day of May 2015. What we have happening now, these massive boulders are being loaded now on these trucks. As you see here, we have 2 of them here right now. One is leaving, one is about to be loaded, and we have a next one on its way. Now what we have happening here, these massive boulders are being loaded on these trucks, and these boulders are being taken the most southern end, that is below the bank of the runway itself, going down to the Stubbs Bay area where they are backfilling the sea. So there is where these massive boulders are being taken this morning. There is no activity, as I said, in terms of crushing stones, because some of these trucks that are working here removing the boulders, 2 of them actually are the 2 trucks which are being used to transport the stones that are going to be crushed to the crushing plant. So currently this is what we have here taking place. As I show you around the area, this area is located on the eastern end and the southernmost end of the runway, on the eastern side of the runway, and you know exactly where the stone crushing plant is. You see these stones that are loaded here, these are not stone, these are stones that were brought from other areas. Like for example, on the Makonyami Hill where we had some drilling and some blasting and the pushing away of stones over the bank, these stones that you're looking at here came from over at the Makonyami Hill and being dumped here. These are some of the stones that will be crushed by the stone mill and into the different size of aggregates that are needed to do works here on the airport site. Now mixed with these stones, as you can see up there in the distance, are some massive boulders. Now these boulders cannot be crushed, they are too big, but what they're doing with these boulders, they're using them to back off the sea area where they're supposed to be reclaiming of the lands. For example, on the eastern end, but currently this morning we have some backfilling being done on the southern end of the airport site, that is the side going down to the Stubbs Bay area. On the hill over there in the distance, it is the Makonyami Hill, and on top of that hill we have 2 caterpillars that are softening the area there by using that piece of attachment at the back to penetrate its way into the stones and making it easier for the stones to be loosened and to be pushed over that bank side. We are here looking at the stone crushing plant. Like I have told you, there is no crushing this morning that is taking place because the trucks that are being used to bring the stones here to be crushed are used in doing other work here on the airport side. Now over there you see that the front end loaders are loading stones that are already being crushed onto these trucks, and these stones are being taken to the side, the shoulder area of the runway down here on the southern end. And you know that outside part of the runway, at the 2 shoulder ends, these stones are being placed there to bring it, to even make the runway itself a bit wider. And when we get down there, I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. But this is what we have up here right now, and today is Saturday, the 2nd day of May Already we are in the month of May, and it's the 2nd day of May 2015. So I am here at the hillside where all the stones are being heaped, and looking over at the crushing plant, and in the distance up there on top of the hillside you can see the Makani Hill. There you have one of the trucks been loaded with boulders, and this truck is headed down to the southernmost side, the stubs end, and this truck is being driven by one nickname named Nobby. Nobby is one of the guys who operate this vehicle that takes the stone to the stone mill to be crushed. But as you see today, they are not bringing stone to the mill to be crushed. They are transporting these stones down to the Stubbs Bay area where they are backfilling the sea. So there they go. Right where you see that truck is going, it's going right down and turn left and go down behind the hill, right down to the flat down there, the bottom to the sea area, and dump these stones. Yes, I'm here at the stone mill itself, and this is the tray into which the stones are being dumped. And that little house there, you see the operator, he stays inside there. Now when a truck dumps a load of stone, the other truck that comes, that truck has to wait until that load of stone is being crushed before another truckload can be dumped, because it can only take a certain amount of truckloads. Now this piece of frame you see in here, a rim of maybe a truck or a caterpillar or something, what the operator in that small hut does is that when he is ready to have the other truckload dumped into the tray that we now look at there, he pulls on this piece of orange string you see connecting to a tongue, and it makes a song to alert the driver of the truck that is waiting with the load to be dumped that it is time for him to dump his load. Right here, this is up to the point to where the truck comes. So the truck reverses right up to this wall here. As you can see, the different deposit of stones here, and when it is time for it to dump, it dumps its load over into the tray that we are seeing here. And these stones now shaking down into that small hole there. You can see some stones, fragment of stones, and if you can look through the door of the hut there, that is one of the belt, the belt that takes the stone from here onto the different section of the mill to be crushed. A couple Saturdays ago, we just had the first layer of a bigger set of stones being put here on the side of the turning head on the southern end of the runway. Now here on the side, right or wrong, we have another layer of stones being placed there and compacted. More than likely what you will have happening here, this area that is being done here right now with stones, more than likely, if I'm not wrong, we will have some asphalt work being done on this area to bring it to the level of the turning head here on the southern end of the runway. What we have in here this morning is a continuation of the laying of these base stones here on the side, on the shoulder end of the runway, as we move northward with the laying of these stones. Currently the trucks are transporting stones to lay on this side of the shoulder area of the runway, on the western side of the runway, further up north in the first kilometer of the runway. But as I get closer up there, you're gonna see what is happening in that area where the work is actually taking place. But where I'm standing here right now, you can see the small trucks loaded with these aggregates, taking them up to that area where they are dumping them on the shoulder end of the runway on the western side of the first kilometer. From the look of things here at the turning head on the southern side, where we have that step down, it looks as though there's going to be another layer of asphalt to bring it up. Well, there has to be another layer of asphalt to bring it to that joint, which means therefore that this layer of asphalt paving, no doubt probably may continue right along the same pathway, because where they have some asphalt work done on the drop down of the concrete, it is flushing with where they have started the asphalt pavement. And because this is so, once you start to lay down that layer to bring it flush with the concrete here, it means that you have to continue at that level. And I am not positively sure if the asphalt work will continue off on the shoulder end. It probably may be so, but I am not positively sure. But as time goes by, I am going to see exactly what takes place here as the work continues here at the Argyle International Airport. But for the moment, we have already had a layer of asphalt here on the first kilometer of the runway, as you will see, and some testing have been done of the pavement work so far by taking out segments of the asphalt work, and these segments are being taken to the lab, which is situated on the western side of the runway down here in the first kilometer area. And these segments of asphalt that were taken out from the pavement here will be tested to ensure that it is of the best quality. Here you're looking at one of the holes that was drilled here to take out that section of asphalt paving to be tested. At different points, different areas, you see holes like these that were drilled that are being used to be tested to see the quality and the strength of the pavement works done here. And next to this, where this was taken, there is a number. I am not too familiar with all of these things that are taking place here, but for those of you who could understand, or who better understand the works of building an airport, will know exactly the reason for all of these markings. But this is what we have. There is no asphalt pavement works being done currently today on the side, as you will know and notice as I move further on. What we have happening, trucks are taking stones, dumping it on the shoulder end of the runway on the western side. The grader spread off these stones, and later on they will be compacted by the compactor. But I am still down here on the southern end of the runway, moving northwards, and as I move towards the north, you will see bit by bit the work that has taken place here at the Argyle International Airport Site for the past week since my last visit, and today being the 2nd day of May 2015. So here is where we have the stones that were being dumped on the shoulder end of the runway, and we have this grader leveling off the truckloads of stone, operated by a one of the Cuban workers here on the airport site. Last week when I visit this area, and I'm at the bank side that overlooked where they had the extension, there they put the extension of the culvert under the first kilometer on the eastern side. Now that concrete works you see, that gutter works you're seeing right in front of you. I used to come right at that edge there, but I couldn't come beyond that edge because it was an embankment below, as you would have seen in some of my photos or video shots. And last week while I was here observing the trucks dumping loads of dirt and stones and the caterpillar pushing them over the bank to cover the culvert. Now this week back here Saturday, as we look down to the bank side, now remember where I'm standing all here, I could not have come here and stand up because unless I was asking for danger. Right down there, the slope of the bank where the dirt, you see the dirt is right now. Underneath those dirt is one we have the culvert running. But you remember all here was a bank side, a gully, and you couldn't actually go down there. Well, look at the difference now. And I am not going to walk around on the grass side anymore to get over to that side. What I am going to do, I am going to walk on the dirt that they have used to fill here with to go straight across. Remember some time ago I told you after here has been filled, you wouldn't have to walk around to get over to the other side. You could just walk straight across, and this is exactly what has happened here. Now with this drain we have here that is there, I don't know how it's going to work because this is bringing water from maybe from the southern end to this point. But as time progresses we will see exactly what is happening. But before I used to come here, I couldn't go beyond this point here where you're seeing the concrete here. All I could do was to stand here and look over and see what is happening. Now trucks are still dumping dirt here, and then later on we'll have the caterpillar coming and removing the dirt, or pushing the dirt over the back to fill up this area, so that when you walk along here you can have one straight passageway right across. So for those of you who didn't know before, it's a good thing you have been following my weekly update, so that when you come here you can say, oh yes, there was a gully here in this area and now it has been filled. There you have a truck just dumped a load of dirt, and not quite sure where it is coming from, but as I move further north I'll be able to have a better idea and a better understanding where it is coming from. So I'm now standing on top of the dirt that the trucks dumped here last week and up to today, and that was pushed over to cover up this culvert down here at the bottom that we are looking at right now. And 2 weeks ago I could not have done this. 2 weeks ago I had to stay over there in the grass at the end of the gutter. But 2 weeks after, I can walk straight across here and show you the work that has been done. This area is now filled up with dirt, and the dirt being pushed over the bank, and no doubt you will have the compactor compacting them Now, on that hill up there where that truck is going, and this other one that is coming up here now is going. Earlier on, months ago, we had a lot of stones being piled up there to a mountain height. And over a period of time, these stones were removed to be used on the apron area and on the runway area. And then we had none at all left up there. But now we have, the trucks are now starting to stockpile stones up there to be used later on the runway and other areas that they're needed. Because all these stones have been crushed and are piling up there at the stone mill, and to make way for a new set of stones, those stones that have already been crushed had to be transported somewhere else for storage until they are needed. And here up there on the hillside where you see those two trucks are dumping the stones, here is where they are storing them until they're ready to be used. I am here at the cargo apron area where they are laying the stones, the base stones, for the preparation of the laying of the concrete slabs in this area. Last week when I came, we had the first layer of stones that were just thrown there by the trucks and leveled off by the caterpillars and then compacted by the stone roller. Now we have the stone layer, laying down the stones to the height to which it is required so that they can lay down the necessary moldings on this layer of stones here as they continue the pavement works here on the apron area of the cargo section. Today is Saturday, the second day of May 2015, and this is what is happening out here on the apron area section of the cargo terminal area. Now there isn't any work, concrete paving works going on here at the apron side. Remember earlier up we were having concrete works being done on this general aviation area of the apron. But it seems as though there is a shortage of cement, because over on my right where the cement plant is, I've seen the trucks there parked up, and there is no activity of the sign of pavement works being done here over the past maybe 3 Saturdays since I'm coming here. So apparently there seems to be a shortage of cement. Not apparently, I've been told so by a reliable source last week that there is a shortage of cement, and as a result of that, the work here on the apron area is held up momentarily. I'm not too sure exactly when they're going to get cement, but I am sure that as soon as they start getting the shipment of cement, work will resume here on the apron area. But in the meantime, on this end over here, we have the laying of the base stones in the cargo apron area, and you see over there the stone layer is laying down the stones. Quite a considerable amount has been laid since my last visit, because when I visited here last week, all we had was the first layer of stone. But this week I come back here, we've seen a number of layers being put down here by the machine, the stone laying machine. And today I'm here Saturday once more. We see the machine is in operation, laying down the stones. Just looking at this truck here, Innotech Service Limited, and at the back of me is where there's going to be the cargo terminal building. Now if you can see closely, you see a number of stakes, wooden stakes, iron stakes, with wooden stakes being placed here in this area. And last week when we were here, you would have seen that these two containers landed here, placed there. Today now I come back, we have two mixers, a caterpillar here, and we see an area here in this section where we're going to have the cargo terminal. We see some wooden stakes being planted with concrete, forming a perimeter here in this area. Now, from what I'm seeing here, I could safely say that works will be commencing here at this area where they're going to build the cargo terminal building. And it seems to be that is in this general area where we have the fencing, the wooden stakes that are put here, which probably will form a barricade later on to barricade this area where the works are going to take place in the construction of the cargo terminal building. From what I'm seeing out here and the sign placed on the truck there and the container, the two containers on the side down here, it seems to be, the work seems to be in the hands of one company called Innotech. And as I draw closer, I will give you a better view of what is written on the container. The same sign that is written on the truck, we have it here on the container. So here am I, right standing in the general area where we're going to have this work. And I guess when I come back here next week, all here might be barricaded. I wouldn't be able to come in here because it will be a private construction site, which will probably not allow for visitors or people who are not involved in actual work that is being taken place. But I'm taking advantage of this moment to bring to you the updates and the happenings here of what is taking place here at the airport site. And as I go closer to the container here, you can see the sign marked Innotech Service Limited, and the same thing is written on the truck. So from what I'm seeing here and from my observation, it tells me that this is the company that is going to do the construction of the cargo terminal. Even this piece of equipment here, this caterpillar, has its logo on it. So this is also a piece of equipment of the company. And you can see two cement concrete mixer. Normally, you know, on this side here, the airport, the International Airport Authority, they have their own concrete batching plant. But you see here two cement concrete mixer, which tells you that this work is going to be constructed as a private firm. And they already laid the containers here since last week. And during the period last week, when I came up to today, they have already done some preparation work for what is to take place here, coming up in the weeks ahead. And soon you will see the commencement of the works here on the cargo terminal building here at the Argyle International Airport Site.
carnival. Tell me go to Trinidad, go to Grenada, otherwise there is no entry. Hey, I just wanna go home. I had a dream in 2050. We'll be flying straight home. What a dream that will be. If it come reality, and we won't have to go to the railroad. We'll be flying straight home, when we go home for carnival. No more go to Barbados, go to St. Lucia. We'll be landing on the old airport. We'll be flying straight home, flying straight home. We'll be flying straight home, flying straight home. When we go home for carnival, when we go home for carnival, we'll be flying straight home, flying straight home. We'll be landing at our own airport. We'll be flying straight home, flying straight home. We'll be landing at our own airport. We'll be flying straight home, flying straight home. We'll be landing at our own airport. We'll be flying straight home, flying straight home. We'll be landing at our own airport. We'll be flying straight home, flying straight home. We'll be landing at our